All right. We're back and we're bad.
We're back in not the saddle. I'm in a cushy office chair.
Well, in our book, we'll be in the saddle, maybe, if we live long enough.
That hurt my throat. Are we in the saddle? I thought we're in the forbidden.
A primal scream there, Eddie. Is that some therapy?
That's therapy, kids. That's therapy. We are not back in the saddle again. We are back in the castle again.
Yes. Back for more adventures in our, plaid shirts and our khakis corduroys.
Listen, you're tucking in that t-shirt into those corduroys and putting a belt on like every respectable 80s kid I know.
Yes. When you're 9 and it's 1984, it's corduroy pants tucked in. Your shoes are perfect. Your shirt's perfect. Mom does the little part in the middle, like a good little boy.
Like someone tried to kill you, and the bullet just did this, and it.
And they use that Brill cream. Your grandpa gives you Brill cream, and it's not going to move. Your hair isn't going to move.
A little dab will do you. Yeah, it's the I'm going to bust out a word that we haven't heard since 1980 something. You'd have those shoes, those Buster Browns. Remember that stuff?
Oh yes. Yeah, they have like a 2-inch thick sole, or I think if I remember correctly.
You could have stepped on a roofing nail. You could have stepped on a shipping nail, like when they put those pirate ships together, and that's not going through those thick soles.
No, nothing.
Those soles are thicker than Lee Searcy himself.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. No. So yeah, we are ready. We're dressed properly. We got our corduroys and our plaid shirts tucked in for our adventure on the Forbidden Castle.
Definitely. And for those of you who may have just be tuning in, the way we do these is when we get to a decision in the Choose Your Own Adventure book, then if you're on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching, listening to this, you can chime in and tell us where we need to go. So when we get to a choice, type in where you want us to go, and the most votes win. No cheating, no counting ballots twice here, Eddie.
No, we're not doing no recounts. We're going to just keep track of what's going on. And then the minute we see that the majority rules here, we will then go with that choice.
Carolyn is in the chat. Hey, Carolyn.
There we go. Carolyn, man, I swear. There's just people on this planet you're just happy are around.
Yes. She's a diehard. She's been with us for a long time. Zeke and Barney. Well, only one today, but... no,
yeah.
Carolyn, teaser. No hanging chads. No hanging.
There's no hanging chads around here. There's just some hanging Zekes.
Hanging Zekes. Zeke. Hey Zeke, and Zeke's gonna join us tonight.
I think he might. We'll see. Okay. We'll see if he stubs in.
Does he get a vote?
Maybe we'll put it out to him and see what he thinks a little bit later on.
Can we trust him? That's the thing.
See, I don't know. He gets confused easily. That's the thing.
Okay. Well, hey, we're going to go through Forbidden Castle. Now, this is the second time through, so I guess we do a little bit of cheating with the first choice to give it a little bit of variety. So the first choice, we might make an executive decision here and go the opposite of what we did last time.
If we see this story going the same way it went last time, we don't want to redo this again. That's the whole point of reincarnation. If you're going to live the same life.
Well, yeah. And these books, when you got them out in the 80s, you would pick the different choice the next time. That's the whole point of the 27 possible endings here.
I don't want to, before we get right into the Forbidden Castle, what kind of castle is this, Lee? I forget.
Forbidden.
Oh. It makes me want to go in there even more.
Makes us want to commit another felony like we do in every one of these books.
The door says don't go in. What do? Break in.
Go in. Remember, that's kind of the running joke in these books is like we're always breaking and entering, and we're 9.
We're committing so many crimes in this book, in this book series. I don't want to tease too much, Lee, but I'm going to tease a little something.
Okay.
Stay tuned, everybody, to the Covert Nerd podcast because the Covert Nerd himself, Lee Searcy, that guy, he's got a sneaky little surprise up his sleeve.
Yes.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't part of that surprise.
So pay attention.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Because he's got some sneaky little fun things up his sleeve that are going to be dropped, soon enough.
Yes. So
stay
keep your eyes peeled. Keep your your pen light ready, like we're in the 80s.
Pen light.
Keep your calculator watch ready.
Set aside your $12 for your correspondence course.
Yes, yes.
Plan
You
on that.
too can get a correspondence course.
Your
Maybe
X-ray
that'll
glass.
happen. Yeah,
See through
your
your
X-ray
hand?
glasses, your tape recorder.
Exactly. I love the kid's face when he's like, "Ah,
Oh, what's this?
bones!"
Oh man. Well, we better get
Thank you.
started, and we're gonna dive into the Forbidden Castle again. So
Here we go.
let's go ahead and get into it. And I don't remember who went last time, but I can go ahead and get started, Eddie, if you want.
Start
Then
off with
can
you,
take
sir.
second choice here. You promised yourself you'd never go back into the cave of time, but when you found the opening behind a big boulder in Red Creek Canyon, you couldn't resist. The cave
Yeah.
seemed darker than before.
Ooh.
You slipped and fell. Your head hit something, and here you are, lying in a field looking up into the branches of a big oak tree with no idea where you are or even what century it might be. Now you may never see your family and friends again. Rubbing your aching head,
The good
You
news is
take-
you hate your family and friends.
and now you're concussed.
And now you've lost third grade. It's gone forever.
Nearby, you see a narrow dirt road, and beyond it, a fast running brook. The road disappears into dense woods on the either side of the field. You hear the sound of hooves and a strange clanking noise. Someone is coming. You duck behind a tree as two men on horseback ride toward you. They are wearing shiny metal armor. One of them carries a white banner with a golden lion on it. They must be knights. You watch as they rein in their horses and dismount just a few yards away. It has been a long ride, Sir Rupert, says the taller one, and you have had a long time to think. Tell me, have you solved the riddle of the Forbidden Castle? Turn to page 3. There we are in our
There we are.
corduroys.
Look at our style,
belt.
our sense of style.
You know, one thing I just realized is that so the Cave of Time is in, Red Oak, America,
Mhm.
but he goes in the cave. Not only does he travel back in time, but he changes geography to England.
Exactly. Look at you invoking the rules of space-time. It's not just a cave of time. It's a cave of space, too. You're getting shipped all over the place.
And teleported everywhere.
It could teleport you back in time on Mars, and you're just dying right there on the planet.
Dying on the red planet. Oh, man. So anyway, in truth, Sir Godfrey, I have tried, and so has everyone else in England. What a reward King Henry has offered. Half of the Kingdom of Wales. A handsome reward indeed, Sir Godfrey replies, but not an over-generous one, for the old monk promised King Henry that if he conquered the Forbidden Castle, he would rule all of Europe. The knights fill their flasks with water from the stream. As they walk back to their horses, Sir Godfrey says, "We must get on to Cotwin Castle. The king expects us before the sun passes behind the west tower. He will be angry if we're late." I'm not sure. Yeah. Says Sir Rupert as he vaults onto. That's what I was thinking. It sounds like Fonzie. Sir Rupert as he vaults onto his horse. He doesn't just get on his horse, Eddie. He vaults onto his horse. I mean, is there any other way?
That horse is like, my goodness, can we just do this normally? He's like, ha ha! Just
We're
jumps over.
vaulting. Let's see. Okay, the king has been in a fearsome temper since he learned that there have been foreign spies in the English court, and now he has ordered that all suspicious-looking travelers shall be locked in the dungeon. As the knights prepare to ride off, you wonder whether you should come out from behind the tree. You're wearing 20th century clothing. Surely you will look suspicious to these knights.
I mean,
on the other hand, you can't stay hidden forever. So
you're wearing the classiest of clothes, Buster
yeah.
Browns, and a shirt with a little alligator on it.
It probably has the little white belt with like it's made of like a not a vinyl fabric, but it has like the little loops and it just kind of goes through. It doesn't even have a buckle. It's just like one of those little belts.
Yep. Or it's a braided leather belt. Remember those suckers?
Oh, there you go. A braided leather belt. Well, here's our first decision, kind of.
There you go.
Now, last time we went to page 6. So this time, Eddie, let's go ahead and make the executive decision here to wait for the next
wait.
passerby.
So this
we're
is
gonna
the
go
one time we're going to invoke the dungeon master type rules, and we're going to like force the decision.
Yes.
And then let the viewers then from this point decide, because they're going to have to. It's all different from here.
It's all different from here
All right.
on out. So,
All right. Is it my go here?
yeah, like Carolyn, we didn't learn about head trauma in our correspondence course, evidently.
No, but I agree. If you haven't had head trauma in the 80s, if you didn't get head trauma before 10 years old, you weren't living.
No, exactly.
Playing it safe. Here we go. You decide to wait. As the nights ride out of sight, you hear a deep voice behind you. Are you going to stand behind that tree all day? Turning, you look up into the eyes of a giant of a man. He is wearing leggings and a tunic made from deerskin. So you know he's not from 1986.
No.
He holds a bow in one hand. A quiver filled with arrows is strapped over one shoulder. You don't want King Henry's knights to see you, huh? He laughs and adds, then you are a friend to me. Those puppets give me more trouble than they are worth. He bends down and looks closely at your face. My word, I have never seen the likes of you in these woods. I'm a stranger from another place and another time, you say. At least we got the place thing down, right? We knew that much.
Good point.
Could you tell me what year it is? The giant laughs again. I don't know how to read.
I'm illiterate.
I don't keep count, he said, and I've never seen why anyone should. Garth is my name, and I play country music. You can stay with me if you like. Where do you live, you ask? Garth answers with a wave of his arm. My house is the whole wide forest, so you know Garth poops outside.
Oh my! This is the woods are his latrine.
This, the woods in my forest, and my bathroom, and my kitchen, and my bed. There is plenty of food and plenty to do. It is the only place where a person can be free. Why not join me? Of course, if you are bothered by a little rain and wind now and then, and the smell of poo, you can follow that road to Cotwin Castle. They'll give you a roof over your head. I must warn you, though, it might be the roof of a dungeon. If you decide to go with Garth, turn to page 7. If you decide to try your luck at Cotwin Castle, turn to page 9. There we go.
All right. There's our choices.
Do we go with the guy with the sweet hair and beard, who we know? I guarantee you that he hopefully poops far away from where he sleeps.
Well, we hope so.
No.
He's very dapper. Look at that beard and hair.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not messing around. Carolyn, party on,
Garth. Al
So
in his
we're-
never-ending bid to get us murdered again.
Yeah, Al is in the house of Mug Comics, and we got Kim says Garth. Oh, so I think Garth wins, Eddie.
I think we got the Garth vote here. We got 2 votes for Garth, 1 for the castle.
And I shouldn't. We need to mention Justin. He just did the Gilmy Talks podcast. He name dropped Eddie and Make Eternia Great podcast in his latest episode. So
He really
check it
did.
out.
Good, big old shout out to Justin with the Gilmy Talks podcast.
Yep.
Check him out. That's a great show, man.
200 episodes.
200 episodes.
I know.
He is rocking.
He is.
Well done, buddy.
No kidding. Well,
So
I guess it's Garth.
Party on Garth. So here we go. Is that you, Lee?
So page 7, that's me. You've always wanted to learn how to live in the wilderness. This seems like a perfect chance. You follow Garth as he leads you through the pine forest across roaring brooks and up steep rock ledges. The sun is dipped below the western hills when you reach a shelter under a rock ledge. You help him gather sticks and pine boughs, and you are soon warming your hands before a blazing fire. Why do you live in the woods like
toilet
this?
paper.
Yeah, pine cones. There's a big stack of pine cones.
The pine cones are both my pillow and toilet paper
And in a pinch, sustenance.
and food.
Oh man. Let's see. He grins ever since I told King Henry that he has no better a man than anyone else. Let me start over. Ever since I told King Henry that he was no better a man than anyone else, he's had a price on my head. He has lost 5 of his best knights trying to bring me to the gallows. Before I met you, I overheard his knights talking about some riddle. Do you know anything about it? Yes, and it is quite a story, says Garth. About a year ago, an old monk visited the king and told him about a mysterious castle. Of course, the king demanded to know where this castle is, but the monk would not tell. Instead, he recited a strange riddle, and then he said, who solves the riddle will find the castle, and who conquers the castle will rule all of Europe. Ever since then, King Henry has been trying to solve the riddle. He's angry because none of his wise men can do so. Do you know the answer to the riddle? Garth laughs. I do not even know the riddle. If you want to find out, you must gain admittance to King Henry's court. You may succeed, but if they suspect you are a runaway serf, they will throw you in the dungeon. You have no way of knowing what may lie in store for you at Cotwin Castle. But it's risky staying with Garth. He has said himself that the king's knights are searching for him. If you decide to try your luck at Cotwin Castle, go to page 12. If you stay with Garth, go to page 11. So here it is again. Did we go to the castle or did we stay with Garth?
They are pushing us to try to go to that castle. We went to that castle last time, Lee. You know what happens there.
Exactly. I think they're hinting at something, evidently.
No.
So let us know in the chat. Do we go to the castle or do we stay with Garth? Brent.
Good old Brent Schumacher, media extraordinaire for Grand Comic-Con.
Yes. He's going to be a busy man here in a couple months.
He is. Looking forward to that. The first weekend of October. Everybody stay tuned. Providing the COVID stuff settles down, man. What the heck?
Yeah. Whew. So we got a vote for, is Brent's vote for Garth? I'm going to
go with that. I'm going to go with that as a vote for Garth. Any Wayne's World references at this point? And Al, nothing can go wrong. Of course, Al. We're only dressed like a nerdy 1984 kid.
Brent's busy now. He's doing lots of weddings, evidently. Well, there you go.
His only real job in that wedding is to yell out, like, don't do it. He's got to not do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So we got 2 votes for Garth and 1 vote for the castle. So I suppose stay with Garth.
Garth it is. Here we go.
Garth it is. That
going
is
to page 11. Here we go. Life with Garth may not be easy. That's going to go on my tombstone, by the way, in case everyone knows.
Life with Garth may not be easy.
Yeah. Life with Garth may not be easy or even safe, but he is a good friend that I've known for 4 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
And you prefer the dangers of the forest to those of King Henry's court. So you join Garth in his forest kingdom. He teaches you to hunt and fish. In the evenings, the 2 of you sit around the fire, and he tells stories of knights and dragons until you fall asleep dreaming of days gone by with your family and friends hundreds of years in the future. One day, Garth turns to you and says, I'm a cannibal, and it's time for me to eat.
And I'm hungry.
You have grown quick and strong and wise in the ways of the forest. It's time for you to decide what sort of life you want to live. If you would like, if you would like a dangerous life where you might find fame and fortune, you could enter the court of Rufus, the mad king of Hereford. Or if you wish, you can remain in the forest with me. Man, they really want to make us like to leave Garth behind.
I know.
If you choose to enter the court of Rufus the Mad, turn to page 21. If you choose a life in the forest, turn to page 24.
Okay. Rufus or life in the forest?
We missed Carol. She would have split the decision and we would have had to have voted there. So
I know. I better get the coin flip thing ready here, shouldn't I?
Al chooses danger.
Danger. So that would be Rufus?
I'm assuming Rufus, the Mad King. Which we know
Carolyn, Rufus and his phone box. Yeah, there's
Yes,
some Doctor Who reference there.
Rufus! Good old Bill and Ted reference. Hey, if anybody hasn't watched the Bill and Ted 3, by the way,
Oh yeah.
you really should. Have you watched that yet, Lee?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of it?
It was really good. I
I got teary-eyed, bro.
It got I think they were able to tap into the nostalgia and some of the new stuff. So yeah, I thought it was good.
So fun.
Sometimes you never know about those reboots, remakes, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I do like Brent's suggestion. We should do that because my senior prom was junior and senior was filled with dangers and things untold and crazy, weird things happening.
Hey, if you're just joining us, we're at a decision point, so chime in the chat there. So we got Al.
We have
with
4
the Mad
votes.
Court of Rufus.
3
we got
votes.
Carolyn Rufus. Then we got Kim with the Rufus, and then we've got Paul
with Garth
saying stay with Garth.
So we got Rufus. I mean, Mad King Rufus for the win on that one.
I think so. So that is page 21.
There we go.
So 21 here. Oops. Page too far.
So far, this is actually panning out quite well because this is new stuff. This is all new.
This is all new. Yeah, none of this is new. This is a completely different story.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all you've done for me, you tell Garth, but now I think I'd like to see more of the world. I'm willing to take my chances with Rufus, the Mad King. I admire your courage, says Garth. Rufus may like you, and then again, he may not. Or he may like you one day and hate you the next.
Ooh.
Some say, there it is. That's Eddie's junior and senior prom.
That's my junior prom. It's like, I'm in love the next day. She's trying to hit me with my own car.
Oh, you're here, you're there, you're everywhere.
That's how it goes.
You will soon find out. Oh, wait. Some say he's generous. Some say he's mean. You will soon find out. For 3 days, Garth travels with you through the forest. When you reach the road
with his meanness.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. So he's generous with his meanness, with his lashings. For 3 days, Garth travels with you through the forest. When you reach a road that runs alongside a crystal clear lake, Garth stops and shakes your hand. Follow this road for a mile or so, and you will reach Fiddlegate, the castle of Rufus the Mad. You bid him farewell and start along the road. You miss the company of your friend, but you're happy to feel warm sun on your back and to smell the fresh, clean air of the pine forest because Garth isn't pooping everywhere. That's probably why.
Because you're not smelling Garth mess everywhere.
Garth, you find out real quick, pine cones do not make good toilet paper.
You got so used to living with Garth, you just thought the world smelled like poo. And then you leave the forest and you're like, what's that weird smell?
Oh, that's clean air.
That's clean air, kid.
What is this? Oh, man. Anyway, the sun is high overhead when you find yourself at the top of the ridge. Ahead of you is a beautiful green valley. Beyond it is a great castle with a stone tower which seems to be leaning slightly to one side. Yeah. As you approach the front entrance, you notice that some of the walls are crumbling and the drawbridge is down. You would think the castle deserted were it not for smoke rising from the courtyard and the cows grazing in the field nearby. As you stand before the drawbridge, wondering whether to cross it, a bulge blows. A bugle blows. Oh gosh, my dyslexia.
That's weird.
A bugle blows. After a few minutes, 2 guards appear in the entrance. They lead you to the large sunlit courtyard, and the yard is covered with broken slat tiles. Clumps of weeds and shrubs poke out of the ground. Turn to page 30.
They're going with my yard care plan.
There you go. Tumbleweeds and
clumps of crap sticking out of the ground.
Let's see. 31, wasn't it? Oops.
Page 30.
30, there we go. Again, the bugle sounds. More guards appear, and they surround you and march you through the central arch, and then open ranks as a short, fat man waddles toward you. He wears blue velvet robe, a golden crown on his bald head. Behind him is a very thin man wearing a pointed cap and bells. Surely this must be King Rufus and his court jester. A guard steps forward.
It is, but don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, stop calling me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
A guard steps forward. King Rufus has has deigned to look at you. Is that how it's deemed or
Deigned.
deigned? Deigned. Okay.
Yeah.
King Rufus has deigned to look at you.
Ugh.
I think deigned means like ordered.
And he doesn't want to. He's like, ugh,
Doesn't. Oh, okay.
disgusting.
Okay. You bow. King Rufus, I am honored to visit your court. Silence. I did not ask you to speak, says the
Ooh.
king. Turning to the jester, he says, Stillwell, what say you of this intrusion into our royal court? 'Tis a sour sorrow to us all, and all us too, says Stillwell. The king scowls and says nothing. The guard points a long bony finger in your face. Well, what have you to say for yourself? You feel you should say something, but you wonder if it would be wiser to wait until the king himself asks a question. If you decide to speak, turn to page 37. If you remain silent, turn to page 39. All right.
I love how his guard is Jay Leno.
Yeah, I noticed. See that chin?
Forget his finger pointing at you. Quit pointing that chin at me, bro.
Stop it. Just,
It's like an act of aggression.
put your hands up. You're like, look, man, I'm unarmed.
Look,
Don't hit me
dude,
with
put
that
the chin away. You're going to stab a hole through me.
Al says to speak up.
I was like, plenty of time to be quiet when you're dead. Let's talk now.
Exactly. Let's see. I like this phrase. 'Tis a sour sorrow to us all, and all us too. What is that?
He's like, there's two of them. And it's the classic, like, oh, I'm a riddler, so everything I answer has to be like clever. It's like someone hit that guy. Someone
Slap him. Oh, Kim and Al are
Yeah.
in sync.
Yep. And
Oh.
Paul never know when to shut up. And Carolyn coming in strong with the Southern saying, say it with your chest.
Wow, that's unanimous.
Everybody wants us to speak up. Brent
We're
is
gonna
quiet
get
as usual.
we're gonna get our head cut off.
We're gonna speak up, and that chin's gonna go right through our eye.
How were you
Chin,
killed? It's a new
come
form
up.
of execution.
I got
You got
chinned.
chin. All right,
let's
so
see
that's
here. So
page 37. Death by chin. All right.
Here we go. You look the king in the eye. You've been living around the forest and poop-stained woods for years. You won't be talked down to by a Jay Leno wannabe.
I got pine
Hold on.
cones.
I got pine cones for days. I don't even know what it's like to wipe with toilet paper anymore. I would not bring sorrow. I mean no harm. Stillwell jumps up and down. He disobeyed your highness's command to be silent. Indeed, he did. The king's face is red with anger. Take this impudent youth to the tower. 2 guards lay hold of you and drag you out of the courtyard. Once outside, one of them glares at you sternly. The other guard starts laughing. It is not a cruel laugh. It is not a cruel laugh. His blue eyes are sparkling. The king does not know it, he says, but the tower steps have long since crumbled away. We've not been able to enter the tower for years. Then what will happen to me? Well, you will escape, of course, says the other guard with a laugh. Surprised and pleased by their rough kindness, you laugh too. Then they stab you through the heart.
And they laugh some more.
The guards give you a pack filled with bread and cheese and fruit. They also basically a Lunchable.
Oh,
They send
there
you off with a medieval
Yeah, Lunchable. Wow.
bread and cheese and fruit. They also give you directions to Cotwin Castle. May you have better luck in King Henry's court. Man, they really want us to go to that castle, bro.
I know. Man, Edward, you're hinting.
May you
heavily.
have better luck in King Henry's court. At least he is not mad. And so you cross the drawbridge of Fiddlegate Castle and set out for Cotwin Castle. This is a giant roundabout.
It is.
Turn
Wow.
to page 14. Here we
Hey,
go.
get off this merry-go-round. Okay,
Here we go.
14.
Me keep this going here.
sure.
You follow the road for what looks like miles, wondering whether you will ever find your way to Cotwin Castle or even find food and shelter by nightfall. The sun is beginning to set when a traveler comes riding towards you. It's Garth, and he smells like pine cones and poop. His cloak billowing behind him. Where are you headed? He calls to you as he reins in his horse. You look like you like his warm brown eyes and the impish expression on his weather-beaten face. I'm looking for Cotwynd Castle. Am I heading the right way, you ask? Indeed, you have been heading the wrong way, he says. But that is a good thing for you. If you were ever to reach Cotwynd Castle, they would surely throw you in the dungeon because of the clothes you are wearing. We hate Buster Brown and Corduroy.
Garth never gave us any clothes, evidently.
Yeah, we just wore the same clothes. Like, it's been years, man. These things are like, up to our calves now. They would think you are possessed by evil spirits. Evil spirits? You are surprised that anyone could imagine you to be possessed by evil spirits. Then you remember that in medieval times, evil spirits were often blamed for unusual happenings. I took a correspondence course.
Exactly. First in evil spirits.
Yep. What am I to do, you ask? Just keep going. You are only a mile or so from a fishing village. When you get there, ask for Stephen. Tell him that his brother Luke sent you. You can stay with him and his wife. Well, that's awful nice of him to invite somebody over to his brother's house.
That with evil spirits.
That will not work in today's time.
No.
Send me to someone else's house. It's cool. Lee said I could stay. It's like,
oh, okay, come on in.
Lee. La, 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 la. Just keep going. They will teach you how to catch any fish in the sea. You call your thanks to Luke as he rides off. Waving over his shoulder, you continue on your way and soon reach a hilltop. Although it's nearly dark, you can see the fishing village below, no more than a dozen houses, each with a little garden nestled by the harbor. Beyond it lies the blue-gray sea. You can see 3 small boats sailing homeward with the day's catch of fish. You think about the life ahead of you, a simpler life than the one you thought you would have, without books or TV or movies, planes or cars, or a million other things you took for granted. On the other hand, here there is no pollution, no car wrecks, no bombs, and there will be plenty of excitement, fishing, and sailing. Will life be better or worse than in your own century? The end, bro. That's crazy.
Wow. I love that.
Wow, we just decided to call it a day. We were going to that fishing village and like, this is where I'm going to die.
I'm staying here. We're not going to Cotwynd Castle. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to keep our plaid shirt and our corduroys and our Buster Browns.
Now look at that. That's a good choose your own adventure ending. We didn't get our heads chopped off.
Nope.
We got to
burned at the stake.
Yep, didn't get burned at the stake for wearing corduroys.
Mm-hmm.
We got to experience life.
Yeah.
Got to live with a forest mage who smelled
Named
like
Garth.
doo-doo. Yeah.
Yeah, with his pile of pine cones to wipe with or eat with, and sometimes he got confused.
Al calling this whole thing lame.
Lame. Do you like the tranquil description? Dozen houses, each with a little garden nestled by the harbor.
Garden. Like,
Eddie, do you like quiet walks along the harbor in the garden?
Listen, after the past year I've had, I'll take any kind of quiet walk along any harbor. But I'm just saying, that's crazy. The brother got a roommate.
Yeah, it's funny. Kim, the brother got a roommate for life, whether he liked it or not.
He said I could stay here. He didn't say how long. What is up? Cave of Time.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Brent's like, what? Brent wants death and violence.
I know. It's like, is the Cave of Time just one way? Because just send this kid back. Just go back, man. Listen, I will say this. It's a tranquil ending.
It is.
Which is rare for us.
Yeah, usually you don't see that.
If we're being honest and truthful, how many times have we had a tranquil ending in this whole thing?
Oh, it's pretty rare.
Once before this one, maybe
once, probably. Maybe. I would say maybe once or twice, but yeah, usually it's death. Riding on a flaming mammoth over a cliff, or being beheaded, or
I'm telling you.
Or stuck in a loop. I think there was one where we were stuck in a loop of something where just time kept looping over and over again.
We were stuck
so it's
in like infinite life death loop, and it was like
Groundhog Day gone awry. Yeah. Or you're stuck with some sarcastic robot that like wants to experience death.
That was too much.
Like I kind of want to experience entropy. Like, no,
That's what was
I don't think
happening. We
do.
were like on a shuttlecraft, and the robot's like, "I've always wondered what it was like to die," and you're like, "What?
I can't let you do that, Dave.
I'm 9 years old, man."
Well,
Yeah, the mushroom hallucinations with the Yeti. That was
what was that? Let me forget it. The mushroom hallucination with the Yeti. Oh, that's good job, Carolyn. Wow, she knows these better than we do. That was the crampons.
that ending was insane.
Oh,
It was like you ate the mushrooms, man, and now you never know what's real anymore.
instead of the red pill or the red pill or blue pill, it's the mushrooms, man.
You're like,
You'll
am I
love it.
insane now? Is that what happened?
Well, this
All
next
right.
one, maybe Tony, the guy that wrote this, the Vampire Express, maybe he was on mushrooms.
Look at that.
I mean, look at that cover. I mean, it's just a vampire baring his teeth, a wolf, a bat, somebody with a mirror shooting flames out onto the vampire. I mean, we're
Come
not
on.
taking any prisoners on this cover.
No.
So this
cover
might
has
have
it
a
all.
fiery death.
What I love is behind the vampire, you still got a rainbow. You still got a rainbow.
That's
we
true.
worked
Yeah.
we worked rainbows into anything in the 1980s, man. Look at this cover. This cover, this probably didn't have a rainbow when he first turned in the first draft, and the guy's like, "It's missing something. It's missing something. What do we need?
Yeah. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah.
We need a freaking rainbow up in here."
It's the guy to Bantam. He's like, look, I want some rainbows on this cover. I don't care what it takes.
rainbows in this here book, or I'm out of here. The kids
love
the rainbows.
By tomorrow,
Sir,
the kids love it.
Sir, it's a book about vampires. I don't care what it's about. It could be about a freaking guy named Rufus that lives in the forest and poops on cow pike. You give
I
me
want
a
a
rainbow,
rainbow.
you're fired.
But I don't know how to draw a rainbow. I don't care.
It's
My
colors.
4-year-old to come do it.
I think if you look at this rainbow, no, it's basically just a blue, yellow, I think red there. I'm a little color.
Somebody just took 4 markers and just like just went across that.
And then they just run back in. That's what I'm talking about. That guy's
Yeah.
a genius. Give him a raise.
Give him a raise. No, never mind. Fire that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And Brett's just chanting for death here.
Yeah, he wants us to die.
Yeah.
All right, we better get started, Eddie. Let's
Yep.
see what the rainbows do we have in here.
Here we go. I'll do me start with this one.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Here we go. You're 9 years old and you just finished your correspondence course on trains and vampires, and you find yourself on a train in the Carpathian Mountains of Romania on your way to visit your uncle Andrew. In all the world, there is no place more closely connected with vampires except Seattle, am I right? Than these mountains. And there's actually New Jersey if you watch What We Do in the Shadows. That's a funny show, Lee.
Oh,
On
check that out.
Hulu. Watch that if you want to check it out. It's very funny. What We Do in the Shadows. In all the world, there is no place more closely connected with the vampires than these mountains. And there is no one who knows more about them than your uncle. Now that you're old enough, 9, he feels you're ready to join him on one of his expeditions. Your goal, to prove scientifically once and for all that vampires exist. 2 other members of the expedition share your compartment on the train. Nina, a blonde girl about your age, 9, and Mrs. West, her aunt, a tall and very grand lady in her 60s. Around her neck, Mrs. West wears a heavy gold chain, like Mr. T, and from the chain dangles the largest jewel you've ever seen. It is a dark blood red and seems to glow like a dying fire. As the train slowly makes its way up and down steep inclines and around tight curves, you take out your uncle's most recent letter and reread the last paragraph. Mrs. West and her niece may hold the key to our quest. For generations, their family has kept a painting and a jewel said to possess awesome and terrible powers. If we can use these powers, the painting and jewel should lead us to vampires. If either falls into the wrong hands, we could all be in grave danger. You must protect them and their owners at all costs. Don't worry, you will not be alone in this task. I have helped the gypsies many times in the past. So wherever you find gypsies, you will find friends. This book is not politically correct. Keep safe, Andrew. Snow is falling now, and the train moves more and more slowly in the glowing darkness. The fire within Mrs. West's jewel seems to glow brighter and brighter. I hope they're talking about her necklace. Suddenly, she jumps to her feet, trembling and clutching her necklace. Oh, good they were. The painting is calling me, she cries. It's in danger. Someone is after it. Oh, Aunt, really, says Nina. You can't be serious. A painting can't talk. Nina's right. Exactly. Don't be so certain, my dear, says Mrs. West. I hear it as plainly as I hear you. In any case, I must make sure it's safe. She opens the door and rushes down the corridor toward the baggage car. 15 minutes pass, and Nina begins to look worried. When Mrs. West isn't back after half an hour, she is alarmed. I'm going after her, she says. Will you stay here in case I miss her and she returns? She barely waits for your nod, and then she's running toward the baggage car. Moments later, she's back, wide-eyed and panting. I can't find her anywhere, she says. My aunt has vanished. I'll help you search the train, you say, trying to stay calm. Where shall we start? We could go back to the baggage car and look for clues, or we could ask the other passengers if they've seen her, says Nina. I'm so worried I can't think straight. You decide. This is where you decide. If you want to check out the baggage car, turn to page 4. We all got baggage, y'all. If you want to question the other passengers, turn to page 31.
Okay, so last time we checked the baggage car. So again, we invoke the
DM rule
decision on this. So we're going to go to page 31 and be the annoying 9-year-old kid that asks questions.
There you go.
You notice your uncle hired a 9-year-old to find out if vampires exist.
Yeah, and we beat Al to it because Al said question everybody.
Yeah. All right. So the two of you step out into the corridor and look up and down. Mrs. West made sure you had a pretty nice compartment, but the rest of the train looks so old and worn out. You wonder how it holds together at all. Nina shivers. It's really cold in here, she says. Let's get moving, you reply. Maybe that will warm us up, because that's what I learned in correspondence course.
Keep moving, kids.
Keep moving. It appears that there are few other riders on this train. In one compartment are 2 gypsies, a handsome young man and an extremely old woman. In another, 2 men sit opposite each other. One is tall and distinguished looking. He wears a brown plaid suit and smokes a curved stem pipe. The other is small and nervous looking and wears strange, brightly colored clothes. The other compartments are empty. Ahead of your car are the baggage car, the coal car, and the engine. Behind you is another car, but the door is locked. You meet the conductor in the corridor, and he does not look friendly. Have you seen my Aunt Mrs. West? Nina asked. No, he says, averting his eyes. Turn to page 7. Back here.
Got you hopping all over the place in this one.
I know. And that sounds like there's not much on the train, so it seems like they're pushing us towards the baggage car, I think.
Full of gypsies, apparently.
Yeah, definitely. She went to the baggage car to check on my painting, explains Nina. When she didn't come back, I went to look for her, but she seems to have disappeared. That happens all the time on this train, says the conductor, shaking his head.
He's worst conductor ever. I'm always losing people on this train.
I hate it here. I hate you people.
I hate these
Look at this next line. Why anyone wants to ride on it, I'll never know.
There we go. You work here, man.
That sounds like a disgruntled employee.
He's like, I just want to run this train into the rocks.
I'm done. Is there any place else on this train she could hide? You asked? You can look anywhere you like, he says. He's like, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
I want to kill myself so bad.
I hate this job. I hate you kids. I hate this job.
I hate everything. There's no way to do it.
Let's see. Okay. Then he lowers his voice, except the private car of Count Zoltan and Countess Carmilla. That is off limits. He backs away as if in fright. Few travel in these mountains, he mutters as he retreats. Do you begin to understand why? I'm not sure I understand at all, you say to Nina, but it's plain he won't or can't give us any help. I guess we'll have to ask the other people on the car, says Nina, or we can try Count Zoltan's car, even though the conductor said it was off limits. If you want to ask the 2 men for help, turn to page 12. If you'd like to talk to the gypsies, turn to page 55. If you want to knock on Count Zoltan's door, turn to page 18.
Ooh, the rare 3 decision.
A trifecta here.
Ooh. Plus talking to a guy named Zoltan.
I mean, yeah. Zoltan from Big.
Wasn't that Zoltar?
See, there we go. Carolyn. Was it Grant Me a Wish, Zoltan?
I want to be big.
It was.
it Zoltar or Zoltan?
That's why I can't remember Zoltar.
I'm looking this up. I'm curious. I'm just curious now.
We got to know now. Inquiring minds need to know.
Al
wants to go talk to the gypsies.
This shows you the life I had. I was Googling pictures of Chaka from Land of the Lost. That just shows you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
Only Eddie. So we got Brent voting for gypsies, Al voting for gypsies.
It's Zoltar.
And then Carolyn. Was it Zoltar?
Zoltar. Okay. But hey, we're close.
Close enough. Gypsies, Kim and Al, 2 times now. They voted together. Oh, Amanda is in the chat. She says gypsies. It's gypsies, Ed or Eddie.
We're going with the gypsies.
So that's page 55.
All right. I'm going there.
I thought for sure everybody'd want us to go knock on the door.
You don't want to knock on the vampire's door?
Yeah. Go figure, huh?
You knock on the door of the gypsy's compartment, and a lady with blue flowers clipped to her beautiful white hair beckons you inside. She's very old and yet ageless, and she looks wise and kindly, yet evil. Across from her sits a young man wearing a bright green shirt with wide, puffy sleeves. Puffy sleeves?
Puffy.
And a green and blue striped bandana on his head. When you introduce yourselves, you discover that the young man is Nanash, Prince of the Gypsies. And the lady's name is Liuba. So Andrew is your uncle, Nanash says, looking impressed. He is a great and close friend, and he has saved my life more than once. He looks at Nina's troubled face. You have sought us for some reason, he says. How can we help you? Nina explains that she and her aunt were carrying a red jewel and a painting to Andrew for his use in his quest for vampires. But now her aunt has disappeared. Is the painting kept in a carved wooden box? Liuba asks. Why, yes, Nina answers. How did you know? Our people have known of the painting for centuries, says Nanash. Liuba clutches Nina's wrist. Go quickly. Bring the painting here, she says. Do not lose a second. I will explain why after you return. Nanash, go with them for protection. Turn to page 23.
23.
We are hopping all over the place here.
Yeah, this one's everywhere.
It's refreshing. It is refreshing.
It is refreshing.
We are traveling down a path here so far. Here
we are. We did a lot of setting up the story here.
The 3 of you race to the baggage car. Although there's little light, and the car is a cluttered, dirty mess. You have no trouble finding the box that holds the painting. It'd be hard to miss with its strange, intricate carvings of hands, eyes, ears, and mouths. With Nanash's guard, you and Nina carry the box back to the gypsy's compartment. Liuba breathes a sigh of relief when she sees you. Then she explains her urgency. There's a private car attached to this train that belongs to Count Zoltan and Countess Camilla, she says. If you were to open the box, you would behold a painting of them as they were centuries ago, when they were young and mortal. Now they are aging creatures of the dark. That's a bad way to talk about yuppies.
Stop it.
Vampires. Why is the floor wet, Chad? I don't know, Margot. Vampires, says Nanash. The painting can release forces that will be their undoing, continues Liuba. But we cannot use it here, where their power is strong. We must journey to our camp and communicate with the old ones. There, they will tell us what to do. What about my aunt? Nina asks. And what about the jewel? You chime in. Uncle Andrew said it was powerful too. Of the jewel, I know nothing, says Liuba. But I will ask the old ones about it also. Now come, make ready. We will leave the train at the next station. She strokes Nina's cheek with her gnarled old hand. This is your aunt's only hope, she says gently. Turn to page 64.
I know, they're really making us jump. What's the deal here?
Bear with me here.
Oh, yeah, I gotta 64.
Almost there. Almost there. Oh, there we go. I'm going to keep reading here, Lee, till we get a decision.
Yeah, go ahead.
The snow is falling heavily when you reach the next stop, and the station is cold and dark. But your heart lifts as you watch the train pull away. Vampires or no vampires, something about that train made your skin crawl. It was like a haunted house on wheels, and that conductor wanted to kill himself. Nanash gives one of the village boys a silver coin to take a message to the gypsy camp. By morning we will have transport, he says cheerfully. Then he stokes up the wood stove in the station, and the four of you sleep as best you can. When you wake in the morning, the snow has stopped, and a pair of horse-drawn carts has arrived to carry you and the painting to the gypsy camp. That night there is feasting, singing, dancing, and storytelling. Then at midnight, everyone falls silent, and Lyuba goes into a deep trance. What is she doing? You whisper to Nanash. Hush, he whispers back. She is talking to the old ones. They will tell us what to do. After a time, Lyuba rises from her trance and comes to stand in front of you. She removes two brightly polished egg-shaped stones from a leather pouch that dangles from a thong around her neck. You don't wear thongs around your neck. That's underpants.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Maybe that's what gypsies do in Eastern Europe.
I didn't know that. There you go. A little bit of trivia there. After the other is emerald. Oh, one of the stones is crimson. The other one is emerald green. The old ones have spoken, she says in a deep level voice. You must decide which of these stones is to be transformed by fire. Choose the crimson, and you will find both safety and a satisfactory conclusion to your search. Choose the green, and you risk terrible failure and a dire fate. But your success, should you win it, will be beyond your greatest dreams. She thrusts the stones towards you. Choose, she cries. If you pick the crimson stone, turn to page 46. If you pick the emerald green stone, turn to page 100. This is the most Matrixy thing we've ever had to do.
I know. Brent says the old ones are like my grade school lunch ladies.
They are. Just like, tell us, old ones, what do we want? You want sloppy joes.
You do. Sloppy joes.
Sloppy,
Amanda
sloppy
says
joes.
green.
We got
Al
one vote
says
for green. We got one for crimson. We got a lot of green. Green. Here we go.
Green. Carolyn green. Kim green. Brent says crimson.
Green stones.
Get a song
they were
even.
in a thong around her neck. That really bugs me. What the heck?
Page 100.
Do it, man. Green stones.
So it sounds like it's green one is dangerous, but the reward is high. So it's like buying GameStop stock back in January.
Right? Man, what a tell you what a weird year.
Yeah. Lyuba. Yeah. 21 2021 was just like hold my beer 2020.
Dude, aliens are real. GameStop made people instant millionaires. What's happening?
I know. What's going on?
People are trying to knock down the Capitol building. Nothing matters anymore.
Yeah. 2021. Hold my beer.
2021.
I gotcha. All right. Lyuba flings the emerald stone into the depths of the flames. Thunder booms. Huge bright billows of green smoke swell from the fire and swallow her. Finally, the smoke drifts away, and you can see that she is now holding an odd-shaped crystal about 3 or 4 inches across. This is the message of the stone, she says in a grave voice. You have been appointed leader of those who will combat the vampires. This places you in terrible peril, for Countess Carmilla now wears the bloodstone, the jewel they took from Mrs. West. It makes them nearly invulnerable by draining the great powers of the painting. However, the old ones will not send you against Zoltan and Carmilla unshielded. They are giving you this crystal called Loluvo's Star. Loluvo was our greatest king and a terrible enemy of the vampires. It is our hope that the crystal star will protect you against the bloodlight of the jewel and will allow the powers of the painting to overcome the vampires. The next morning, you and Nina, Nanash, and several other gypsies set off on horseback for the vampire's lair. Toward evening, when the castle is in sight, Nanash turns to you and gestures toward a tall, rocky spire. That high pinnacle is the one of the most sacred places, he says. It is called Gypsy's Needle. We could climb to its top and wait there for the painting to attract the count and the countess. Now that they have the bloodstone, they may be overconfident and try to attack us on our own ground. However, if Mrs. West is still alive, it might be better if we entered the castle immediately. Both ways are filled with peril, but the choice is yours. You are the leader. If you go to the vampire's castle, go to page 32. If you wait at the top of the Gypsy's Needle, go to page 116. So there's your choice.
Fun fact, Gypsy's Needle was Al's nickname in phlebotomy camp.
Oh, wow. Man, Al does it all.
He does. He doesn't hold up.
All right. So Amanda says go, but I'm assuming she means to the
Vampire's Castle?
Castle?
There's go or wait, I believe was the options.
Okay, that's
so
true.
We got a lot of stuff here. We got go. So needle. We have one for wait,
which I assume is the needle. That's the needle.
So go. So sorry. Yeah, go is the castle. Wait is the needle. So we got a lot of needle going on here. Oh, we got one for Vamp Castle. No, two for Amanda's did it. So Vamp Castle, one, needle. Three needles.
3 needles and 2 castles. Okay, wow, that's
is
close.
This all the votes? Is this everybody voting?
I think so.
All right, the needle it is.
The needle it is then. All right, so we go to the needle. And yeah, they just say that the vampire took Mrs. West, but they don't know if she's still alive or not.
Right?
So
here we go. You mean read this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got needle. Yeah, we got a lot of needles. You climb to the needle summit and watch the sun set behind Zoltan's crumbling, ruined castle. That's a pretty cool line, actually. I won't lie.
It is.
Then the gypsies build a large bonfire while Nina removes the painting from its box and you take Leluvo's star from your backpack. Nanash sets up the painting so that it faces the vampire's castle and yet receives the full light of the fire. Then with his dagger, he draws an eye in the dirt between the painting and the fire, and you place the crystal in the eye's pupil. Joining hands, everyone makes a ring around the fire. Now we are ready to summon the devils. Sorry. Now we're ready for them, Nanash says with grim determination. But remember, the fire must not go out. If it dies, we are lost. Well, that's some new information here.
Yeah, thanks.
Nanash,
now you tell us.
The Nosh old late bringer of information.
Yeah, this would have been good information yesterday.
Dude. Joining hands, everyone makes a ring around the fire. Oh, yeah. We're lost. Wolves howl. Flocks of screaming bats whirl and dive within inches of your heads, but they don't attack. Then the wind picks up and a gusting, misty rain threatens the fire. But you and the gypsies take turn, adding log after log to the blaze, and the fire never dims. Little dim reference there.
Ah, yes.
At midnight, Nanash cries, everyone on his feet. Now we dance and sing. This is how I want my 44th birthday party to go down.
Okay. Dancing and singing with the fire in the middle.
With a crystal on the ground, a painting by a fire, bats dive bombing us.
Dive bombing you.
And around the blazing bonfire you go, dancing and singing at the top of your lungs. The wolves howl again, and then you see 2 monster bats flying at you. The vampires! They are circling the fire, drawn to it like comets to the sun. That's a weird reference. I figure like moths to a flame.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Like comets to the sun?
Sun? Okay.
Around one of the bats' necks is the bloodstone. Its terrible crimson glow falls. Oh, I lost my page. Oh,
I can do it. Terrible crimson glow flows on you like a lead shroud and drains you of your energy.
Oh,
Turn to page 79.
all right.
I can do this one if you want, Eddie.
You go for it. Yeah, my phone just
Kinda
like
long.
went nuts.
Yeah, I got it here. Let me get to page 79. Let's see. Here we go. You and Nina are almost exhausted, but you stumble on. Faster, faster, Nana shouts. Don't stop. Whatever you do, sing, sing. The ring of people closes in on the fire, and so do the vampires above you. When you are all nearly touching the flames, the painting suddenly ignites. Flames hurtle upward and engulf the vampires. There are twin explosions, and you all fall unconscious. In the morning, you and Nina are the last two to wake up. And there is Uncle Andrew, who has just arrived. The gypsy messenger reached him about the time you set out for the vampire's lair. With a broad smile, Andrew helps you up and points to the castle. Walking unsteadily through the gate is Mrs. West. Nanash hurries off to lend her a hand while the rest of the gypsies begin to pack up. It's a shame you didn't take photos last night, Andrew says, but I suspect that with you and the others as witnesses, with the evidence we'll find in the castle itself, there will be no possible doubt about the existence of vampires. He raises his arms to catch everyone's attention, and in a loud, hearty voice announces, "You have all done simply wonderful, grand work, grand work. The end." Eddie,
Now, I just want to point something out. We didn't die. We didn't die. I want to point one thing out. One thing out. This is exactly how it ended last time.
Exactly. I know. This is exactly what happened. We did a different choice, and we still ended up with the same ending.
Sometimes things are just meant to be. Sometimes it's meant to be.
Exactly.
Kind of vampires that last forever.
Oh, that's just some Chicago there, Eddie.
Look, I bring it, baby. Now the thing is, it's still fun. It's still fun.
Yeah.
There was an illustration in here. Every so often, when you're cheating, just turn to a random page real quickly. I just want to show people something, with an illustration. Let me see. You see some of these illustrations, and you're like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening here? Look at that one.
Yeah.
Look at that
Descend into the crypt. Ooh. So we're in a crypt here. You're like, how do I get there?
Oh no, she sobs. She's dead. There's definitely other ways to go here. Oh, and this is where this podcast and also these books are really something else, guys. I mean, you can, earmark where you've gone and make marks so you can, purposely not, repeat some of this stuff. But
sure, tonight, we want you to flip through the books. We'll just give you a taste of what.
And you're able, we should put, we haven't done this. We should start putting links for these books up on the Covert Nerd page for people to be able to check out on their own.
Yeah, they're on archive.org. You can just search. But yeah, I'll have to start putting these links in there so you can go check them out yourself, or you can go on eBay and find a bunch of them too. And get the originals. They're a lot of fun. But Eddie, we didn't die. 2 books, 2 different stories. Nobody died. Nope. Well, except for the vampires, I guess. The vampires died.
We killed some vampires, and in the other book, we killed some pine cones for sure. But
and some fish.
And we killed any chance of getting back to the 1980s ever again.
No kidding. But our Buster Browns survived.
Exactly. The Buster Browns and corduroys lived to see another day.
So this one,
30 years later, you're still wearing them.
You could have had your Buster Browns here. You just throw that at the vampire, and it just kills them instantly.
It's like, tacky clothing. Ugh.
So the crucifix, holy water, or Buster Browns.
Here's my. Remember those kangaroos? Those shoes that had a zipper on the side. You could put a quarter. Here's my kangaroos. Here's my Hush Puppies backpack.
My Trapper Keeper.
Here's my Trapper Keeper.
No, not the Trapper Keeper.
He's like, 80s nostalgia is worse than garlic for me.
Swatch watch.
Slap bracelets rain down from heaven, and he's like,
I'm melting.
I'm dying.
Died in a pool of snap bracelets.
Yeah, those jelly shoes that girls love to wear back.
Oh God.
Not jelly shoes.
Oh man, that's what we need. We need some slap bracelets.
We do.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's-
And look, Cam coming in clutch. I totally had the kangaroos and the trapper keeper.
Yep. See?
Yeah.
That's
I had
what
a
I'm talking
trapper
about.
keeper, man.
Oh yeah.
I had a blue one, and then that one fell apart. And then I had the one with the red Lamborghini with the lightning
Oh,
in
yeah.
the back with the laser grid.
Ooh,
Ow!
man, you're the cool kid that year.
I was trying a little hard.
I'm trying. Oh man. Well, Eddie, that was fun, and we'll do it again here in a couple weeks, like Eddie teased at the beginning.
Mhm.
Keep an ear and eye out for some announcements, and
Something fun
we
and
will
cool.
let you know. But this has been a lot of fun. So thanks to everybody in the chat for participating. Stay tuned for the next one. We try to do it about every 2 weeks, but sometimes life throws us a curveball and we can't.
Yeah.
But we'll try. So
do our
yeah,
best.
thanks for everybody. And until next time, we'll bid adieu and do this again soon. So thank you.
And hey, choose your own adventure. You know what I'm
Exactly. Except for vampires.
saying? Don't choose that one.
No. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.